Hi, this is Colin Clark, editor of Breaking Defense here, doing my first piece for AUSA 2018. Talking with Dan Lundell of BAE Systems, looking at a vehicle I don't know much about, and very few American reporters do because it's not used by the U.S. military. So, Dan, tell us why it's here, and especially tell us why you think the Army might be interested in something for which they don't have a requirement yet.
You're absolutely right. We haven't seen the entire requirement set yet, but we brought the CV90 here to be a starting point for interesting discussions. So that's why it is here, actually.
Okay. And this is for the next-gen combat vehicle, right?
Yes, correct.
And why do you think this vehicle, which looks kind of like a Bradley, might be of a special interest, or is it bits of technology? I mean, how are you approaching this?
Well, I can't go in too deep to that because there's some discussions that are ongoing. But
You can tell us. Nobody will know.
but for sure, there's some features with the CV90 that actually fits pretty nice into the what we call the envelope of the requirements. I mean,
Such as?
range,
Maybe you can show us.
such as top speed, such as internal volume, such as the high technology level in terms of electronic architecture, hosting artificial intelligence, machine learning algorithms.
And it already has artificial intelligence and
In some
learning
parts,
algorithms?
yes. In some parts, yes.
Interesting.
And we already have the digital backbone that is necessary for autonomous driving and unmanned. It's an unmanned platform. Although we haven't done it, but everything runs on the CAN buses and Ethernet, so the subsystems themselves doesn't really know where the operators are situated.
Which countries use it now?
So there's 7 countries that use CV90. So we have Sweden, Norway, Finland, Denmark, Switzerland, the Netherlands, and Estonia at the moment.
So this would fit right in with the basically combating Russia strategy.
Yes, it is. It is built towards looking to the east in terms of the threat. Yes, in all of those countries.
Can you tell us a little bit about some of the features that you think are particularly of interest?
Well, particular of interest, I would say. I mean, CV90 has always been renowned to be a high mobility platform, and it's always been renowned to be a very modular platform. So the 7 customers have different requirements in terms of sensors and actuators, variants. There's actually 16 variants of the CV90 been built and designed and in use. I mean, and all that kind of fits into the U.S. Army as well. We know that for the coming years or the next 30, 40, 50 years, there will be a lot of changes to sensors, to actuators, to power-consuming subsystems and so on. And that's the way we always have done it with the CV90. So
Let me ask you something for contrast here. The Bradleys largely run out of power. They just can't generate anymore. How much expandability does this have in terms of increasing power over time?
An example. The first CV90, Mark Zero, way back in the early 90s, came out with 550 horsepower at 24 tons. This guy, he has 840 horsepower with an engine that is already has a growth path up to 1,000 horsepower. And it comes out at, well, that was 24 metric tons. I can't do the translation. This guy is now the warranty weight, or what we say is the limit for the customer to have the warranty set is 37 tons. Draws the same amount of fuel though as 24-ton 550 horsepower. So it has been a continuous evolution of the specification of the CV90 with those 7 customers coming in every 5th or 6th year with a new set of requirements. So there's not one year, the last 28 years, that we haven't changed the specification of the CV90.
So I take it that the ability to upgrade and the ability to expand is the key reason you're looking at this as a possible candidate.
Yes.
Okay.
Good. That was a very good conclusion. I might use that.
It's free, right? So tell us a little bit about the gun, maybe walk us around the vehicle.
Yeah, sure. So what we have here is a 35 millimeter, but the CV90 has hosted 25, 30 millimeter, 40 millimeter super shot, 35 millimeter, 50 millimeter. It's already designed.
Oh, really?
We already cycled those rounds way back in 2005. It's very simple, very easy to do that upgrade. We have also hosted 120 millimeter tank guns. We have 500 rounds with a CV90 120. Two-barrel mortar turret, very capable system. And that is in production now for the Swedish Army. So there's a range, there's a smorgasbord, if you will. I'm Swedish. There's a smorgasbord of calibers and we're caliber agnostic. 40 millimeter CDA gun has also been hosted on the CV90. So it is what the customer requirements is what gives the product. We have a platform and then we form a product from the customer requirements.
Tell me about the tracking system.
Yeah, so the vehicle, the Mark IV that we have here, hosts the composite rubber track system, and also has what we call the active vehicle dynamics, which is active damping system, and makes it very smooth ride, very quick in tough terrain, really tough terrain. So we actually outrun the main battle tanks in Europe in some of the trials we've done, which is quite
including the Abrams?
The Abrams we haven't tried it against yet.
Okay.
But that would be good though. That would be a fun test.
And basically that means that when troops arrive, they haven't been bounced around like beans in a can.
Exactly. Endurance, soldier endurance. Other than that, we have a fantastic range of the vehicle as well. And actually, I did the calculation. We can go from Washington to Detroit and then some on one fuel tank. That's pretty impressive.
That's amazing. Can you refuel on the fly?
No,
Not yet.
No, that would then we would have a tanker on the side running the same speed. I don't think that's doable. Not yet.
All right. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, sir.